Y'all are ridiculous. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast of the week. It is the only one that you need to listen to and tune in, because we're the only one with our opinions. We hold to them. It's essentially correct.
Yeah, until we don't.
Until we don't. Everything is what it is until it's not. You take that to the bank. My name is Clay. I'm your host. I am not live with the chief himself. He's not in with us today. But
I'm here.
It's me and RNDY.
I can't really do the chief impression, can I?
No.
I just sound like, what's the guy, the Family Guy?
Yeah.
I've literally never watched that show, but I know what he sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, if you're listening live on Spreaker, we appreciate that. If you're listening later on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any of those other platforms, we also appreciate you. It would be great if you would let us know where you're listening from, so that way we can specifically market and advertise so that we get more of you. Right? We want more of your listening time. We want more people listening in. We're unashamed. I'm unashamed of that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't cover that crap up. I mean, people need to understand that I'm going to use the popular news as tags so that more people listen to the show. Like I'm different. I'm just not like these corporations. I'm not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm just being honest with you.
You going to retarget people too on Facebook?
Of course. It's all based around age, interests, political views. Everything's like that, though. I just want you to know, you, the listener, I want you to be aware. I'm not trying to get you. Okay? I'm not trying to get you like Nike got you. I'm not trying to get you like everybody else. I'm just
Whose sales are up, by the way.
I know. You saw that?
Yeah.
You know, my theory is, and we spent a whole show on that last week, but my theory about that is that people are not buying more because it's Kaepernick, but they're buying more because more people are angry.
Yeah.
Like it's like a reverse. It's like a reverse.
I mean, they came out and said after we talked last week that their demographic was not the people that would be mad anyways.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's like,
we kind of beat around that last week without saying it, but it's true.
But it's free advertising. That's the
right.
thing. It's like, even if you're angry, like if you post about it, that's more dollars.
At least somebody's talking about it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Tons.
But it seems to have died down.
What was it like? What was the percentage? Up 30-something%?
Yeah, it was up incredible. It's incredible.
That's a lot.
And it's not like Nike's not making a ton of money anyways.
Billions and billions.
It's a conspiracy.
Speaking of billions, Apple is right now live. So if you're listening to us instead of the Apple event about the new iPhone, you're a true fan. If you're listening later and you watch the Apple event instead of being on Third Thoughts, I don't blame you.
We have a third party that's going to update us as anything important comes down the pipe from the Apple.
Okay, sounds good. I know they're announcing new iPhones, new Apple Watches, and the like. Dude. I'm a fan. I've been tinkering with this, Randy. I've been thinking about leaving Apple.
What's wrong with you?
Well, the main thing is I want to leave AT&T. Okay, and to leave AT&T, I feel like for it to be worth it, my bill needs to go down.
Right, of course.
So the only real way for me to do that, since I'm on my own plan by myself, and I don't get the family, the group plans and the family plans, you get discounts.
You're not on your parents' plan?
No, I am not.
Oh wait, that's our other coworker. Never mind.
Right. So I want to leave, and Google has their own phone service. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Project Fi, right? And it's like really cheap. And this is like free advertising for them, but I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter whether I say it on my podcast or not. They're still making money. But yeah, it's a lot cheaper than AT&T.
Right.
But you have to have a Google phone. You can't take an iPhone. You have to have a Pixel or one of the Nexus phones. And I think there's an LG or two that you can have. But yeah, so you have to go to an Android phone. But I mean, the Google Pixel is a nice phone. It is. But I have to leave the ecosystem.
Yeah, see, I love the Apple for phone.
Yeah.
I have Windows 10 because you can get the same specs for so much cheaper on a Windows PC than you can on an Apple.
Oh, no, you're right.
I mean, and they're not as secure as they used to be. Apple's not. I mean, that used to be their...
Used to be the thing.
That used to be the reason I would get my wife to let me buy one was I'll never have problems with this. I'll never get hacked.
Right.
And now it's just, I mean...
It's not really true.
It's not as true.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course, as the percentage goes up, people are going to start hacking them.
Yeah, and people are dedicated to doing that. So
yeah, I mean, I still like it, and if I had the money,
yeah, I don't know. The problem is now, honestly, as of today, and our studio insider who's in on the Apple event can let us know. But the way I understand it, there's a bigger Apple Watch now. I have the 42 millimeter Apple Watch. I've had it of the Series 2. I've had it for a couple years now. I really love it. But there's now a bigger one. I've always wanted a bigger one. It's only 2 more millimeters, but it's all screen. I mean, they've taken the bezel down.
Nice. So they're measuring 42 millimeters across, right?
Yeah,
like a normal screen.
Mm-hmm. So now this new one is 44. It's 44, and it's less bezel. You see the bezel on the edge.
Yeah.
If you have an Apple Watch, you know there's a little bit of a bezel there. And
Hey,
now they're
y'all.
going edge to edge and
I'm here, y'all.
screen. Oh, the Chief has decided to join us today. Chief, welcome. Chief in the flesh, live.
If people would go to the Patreon, I wouldn't have to work a real job, so I'd be able to be here on time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a nice Patreon plug. We were just talking about, I don't know, we were just kind of introing, talking about Apple and stuff.
Yeah, we know a dude that has an Apple Watch, but he forgets to charge it, so he never wears it. Who
Yeah,
was
like
that?
he forgot. He doesn't remember to plug it in at night. So it just stays dead at his house.
Yeah, because it's really inconvenient.
To charge?
Yeah.
You charge your phone?
Not always.
He is Shane's father.
No, but you know, with the phone, I can plug it up in the car,
Yeah.
plug it up at my desk.
But you could do that with the watch, too.
Yeah, you can get
what's
multiple chargers.
Then what's the point of having the watch? If I'm going to put it on charge at my desk or in the car, what's the use of having it?
Mine lasts 2 days. I can go 2 full days without charging it.
And mine may.
You just can't, I mean, you can't expect it just to run all the time, do you? You just expect it to just be...
My other watches do.
They don't do all the stuff it does.
Dude, I
You're
couldn't have
ridiculous.
one.
Chief is ridiculous.
Yeah, see, the watch is too far for me in terms of being invasive. Like, if I don't want to reach in my pocket and look, I won't. But if I had it on my wrist and it vibrated, I would look all the time.
Well, I do look all the time, but I'll say
Yeah.
this. It really does keep my... Like... It actually does. It's a minuscule amount of time, and it's probably not justifiable by how much the watch costs. But I got it as a Christmas gift, so for me, it doesn't matter. But
The Apple Watch costs less than my other watches. It's the least valuable watch that I own.
yeah, you buy those crazy big watches, though.
Yes, I buy nice watches.
So we were just talking about today. There's a new Apple Watch, Series 4, and there's a bigger one. There's a couple more millimeters, but it's full. The screen is all over now instead of coming to this edge. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty nice. $400. But anyway, it saves me from if I read the text on my watch and I'm like, oh, I don't need to respond to that.
Yeah.
But I've already read it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I can.
But then
if
you'll
it's something
forget.
But if it's something I needed to know or I need to do, I mean, I can do it. But it also saves me the trouble of pulling my phone out, and then I'm consciously like, I'm not typing anything back.
Dude, I mean, I roll with my phone on silent most of the time anyways.
Me too.
I don't want to be interrupted. Yeah, you do have big watches. That one watch he has looks like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Chief? Oh, that
Yes.
big gold one?
They're all that size.
Yeah,
Or bigger.
Oh, they're 50s, aren't they?
My gold one is a 54.
Yikes, man.
And then I have one that's a 60. Wow. That Coalition Force,
Yeah.
the big silver one.
Yeah. 60, bro.
Yeah.
See, that's the Apple Watch I want. I want a 60 millimeter.
But I mean, I have an arm that will,
You do have bigger arms than me.
that will be able to withstand a watch that size.
Are you saying I couldn't wear a watch that big?
No, I'm just saying that
I couldn't now.
it doesn't look
Injured.
as big on my arm because my arm's so big.
Well, how does this look on my arm?
Full size.
That looks normal to you?
Yeah. See, that on your arm looks the same as my watch on my arm.
Oh, I see. Proportionally, I see what you're saying.
Proportional. Yeah.
So you really need.
like if I went down to a little 42 millimeter, which is kind of standard for men's watches,
which that's what this is.
yeah, that'd look ridiculous on me.
The new one's 44.
Well, what I did to make my Apple Watch look better, even though I don't charge it and wear it, is I put the cover on it that made it bigger, and then I put that survival band on it, which makes it look bulkier.
Oh, yeah.
And bigger, so it made it look bigger.
Survival band, you getting ready for the Farmageddon?
Farmageddon.
No, I mean, at Armageddon, I will already be with the Lord.
We're not
Apocalypse, maybe.
We're not going to talk about
How about, so this is news. Florence, Hurricane Florence,
shit. Could be
I'm just
Armageddon.
reading that it's Donald Trump's fault.
is barreling towards the East Coast.
Did somebody really say that?
Washington Post declares Trump is complicit for dangerous storm.
All right, read us the reasoning behind that. Go to that.
I haven't read it. I just literally
Okay,
opened
we'll
it.
talk about
Let's see.
something else
Yeah.
while he's reading this,
Yeah.
because that's interesting.
Well, let's talk about the storm a little bit.
Yeah. State
I
of
think-
emergency declared for us now here in Georgia.
In Georgia, yep. And it was already in North Carolina,
South
Virginia,
Carolina.
and South Carolina. wasn't
Yeah.
it? So, East Coast, they're saying this is historic.
Yeah, 1952 was the last time they got hit with something like this.
Yeah, they're saying this could be a history-making storm in a bad way. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
like 400 miles wide, which is insane.
130 mile per hour winds right now, so it's still at Cat 4, and we're supposed to get tropical force storm winds even here.
Yeah, and we're all the way.
But not as bad as the last hurricane, right?
Well, they just
I really
it
don't
made
know.
a south and west turn, so it's coming more for us than it was after it goes on to
Man,
land.
I can't stand any more trees down at my house.
Oh, dude, you're in trouble, dude.
My rabbits are going to drown.
What about the bear?
I don't care if the bear drowns.
No, is the bear been coming around though?
I haven't seen it again.
Wait, so yeah, you did say you're gonna have to make some adjustments. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do? How are you gonna prep for this?
Well, my plan is on Friday, I'm going to harvest all of the rabbits except for
I
5.
said cull the rabbits, but he says harvest.
Well, that's 2 different things.
So what is
That's 2
culling?
different- Cull is to take a week or sick and get rid of it. Harvest is you take the meat and you prepare the meat and you store the meat.
Okay, I'm with you.
So those are 2 different things.
So Cole would be like Hitler
oh, don't go there.
or Trump. I mean, we could put those two in the same boat, right?
So
Since he's causing cancer.
But anyway, and then I'll take the other 5 and I'll just put the rabbit tractor, which is what they're in. I'll just put it up under the back deck.
Oh, okay.
The chickens, however, may have to learn to swim.
That is not going to go well.
No.
They don't have any apparatus to swim.
No. I did see, though, that when people were leaving Houston for the hurricane, that a lot of people had chickens, and they just took newspaper, and they took the chickens and they wrapped them in newspaper and put a piece of duct tape around it and just stacked them in their car.
Oh, I guess they would be fine, yeah.
Yeah, like cordwood. I mean, they were stacked like 6 deep.
They just look around, right?
Yeah, and their heads were just sticking out of the newspaper, and they were just looking around like that, and they drove them out of town. So I guess I could do that and just stack them in my basement.
Yeah, I guess
Just
you
put
could.
them in the basement, let them run around.
Yeah.
Stacked.
So,
You
yeah.
could-
Like little bouquets.
But evidently, this Washington Post article, first of all, says
Yeah, is Trump Poseidon now?
it does
Does he create
say
storms
it
in the
does
ocean?
No,
say
he's a
that
Aquaman. Could you picture Trump with a big pitchfork and a tight?
Somebody photoshopped that. Some listener photoshopped that for us. Send it in.
that he first of all, they said he's given good advice for preparing for the storm on Twitter. But then they say he's complicit because he denies humanity's role in increasing the severity of these storms.
Oh, the climate
and
change.
had he participated, I guess, in the last climate summit, this storm would not now be approaching the East Coast because, after all, 3 months is enough to,
Right.
to overturn all of the harm we've done to the environment.
Right.
The English language is elastic, but I don't think there's enough elasticity in the word complicit to make it like that.
Yeah,
Stretch that far.
There's some people that make great cases for things that I don't necessarily go along with against the president.
Sure.
But this one, there's no way. There's no way he's the reason this storm is coming.
That's just crazy.
It just shows you where we're at.
It shows you the divide in our country.
Yeah. What were you saying? Yeah. This brings me to you were talking about the
The op-ed article in Washington.
Yeah, there's the anonymous
Not
op-ed.
Washington, New York Times. Yeah.
And then you were talking about the secret coup.
Yeah, well, some people were calling it a secret coup. You read the op-ed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't agree with most of what he does, but these people should not be trying to undermine his leadership. If they feel like he's unfit to lead, they need to actually follow through with the 25th Amendment and push from there.
Yeah, I think if they really want him out, they should try to do it
the way
the system
designed
is
to do
written.
it. Because,
but even then, I don't know as bad, and I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that happens. I don't think he's particularly like the best person. He tweets some ridiculous stuff, right? He says some ridiculous stuff.
Yes.
You know, not a person I really would. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway, I don't really support him, but bottom line, I don't know that this is a good time to remove our highest leader.
well, I think that
Globally, you know,
right.
Yeah, just because you have an extreme, controversial, opposing view doesn't make you mentally diminished.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. These people
Are trying to make him feel like he is.
well, they're on the same page with him about most stuff. I mean, they say that. They're not on the same page with him about trade. They think there should be more free trade than he's allowing. And that is interesting, the tact he's taking with that. But still.
Yeah, he needs to do something with Canada quick.
Yeah.
Because the tariff on Canadian lumber is going to cost, it's going to make a big difference in how much it's going to cost to build my house.
Dude.
And now this has become personal to me. So I need him to do something about these lumber
Seriously,
tariffs.
man.
Lump charcoal made out of maple.
Yeah, so I mean, I just because I need 2x4s, and I'm not going to. If they're Canadian made, it's okay. If they'll hold my roof up, I want the cheap 2x4s.
You might even get some maple syrup out of them.
So remove the tariff. And what's happened is because of the tariff, there's such a demand for American lumber, they can't produce it fast enough, so they raise the price.
Yeah, and think about what's about to happen on the East Coast when the price of lumber, they're already price gouging with generators.
But I have already considered just taking some storage containers, stacking them and welding them together and burying them.
I knew he was going there with this.
And use that as my home.
What's your wife think about that?
I haven't ran that pyre yet.
Screened that one. You know, the thing about it though is you wouldn't have any sunlight. I mean, wouldn't that really affect your health?
No. I'm going to leave the doors operational, so I can literally open up one whole end of my home to allow sunlight to come in.
Dude, this sounds like Fallout, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Fallout
sounds,
76,
sounds
baby.
like, I don't know. I think it would be weird.
You would
I
cut
think
windows out, right? Well, I guess the parts that are not underground, you'd cut windows out, right?
Sure, because one end is going to be. No, what I'm saying is those two doors that are at the back of.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to open those. There'll be four, side by side on top of each other. But then it'll also be too deep.
Would you cut the interior walls out to make it wider? Because those things are not wide.
I'll cut doors through them. Yeah.
That'd be some narrow rooms.
Well, the living room will have a big cased opening, so it'll be too wide.
So you've really thought
So
about
it'll
this.
be a gigantic living room.
Yeah, I'm sure he's drawing this up.
You have CAD plans, don't you?
I don't have CAD plans, but I have drawn plans. I have 2-scale on graph paper plans.
And you have one entire shipping container full of stuff, full of supplies, right? Just in case the Farmageddon comes.
No. But I mean,
He wouldn't tell you if he did.
I will tell you that when things go bad,
When?
you can bring your kid over and I'll feed your kid, Randy. You're out of luck, but I'll feed Aiden.
Wow.
That's nice, isn't it? Next
I mean, you
generation.
should feel good that I'm willing to take care of your kid.
If you survive.
I'm going to survive. Have you seen that Tim Kennedy show, Hard to Kill?
I've heard of it.
You know
I
who
haven't
Tim
watched it.
Kennedy is?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good show. Somebody in the studio audience has heard. He does different dangerous tasks like bomb tech, commercial
Oh, yes, I've heard of
fisherman,
this.
and and he goes through all the training. It's crazy, man. But he is a bad human being. But he and I will both make it through whatever happens.
Well, you and I,
Unless we have to face off against each other,
right? What
and
if
then
you compete
he's
for land?
well, he's
sunk.
he's out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday. Yesterday we were in the office, me and you, Chief, and we started hearing something like crazy outside, like it was really loud. So remember, and it was helicopters.
Oh yeah,
going over, and he said, "What was that? What is that noise?" And I said, "I think the Russians are invading." And so we walked outside, and it wasn't the Russians. I mean,
No.
obviously
Was
we're
not
here
Red
today.
Dawn.
it was National Guard.
Yeah, but I said, what would you do if we walked out here and you saw like formations of fighter jets and stuff flying across, and like how would you handle that? And I said, I would probably just go along with my day like normal. I mean, I'm not prepared for that, so I might as well just finish my work day, go home, boot up a little Monster Hunter or Destiny, and bang out a few hours on the computer. And if they show up on my door, that's that.
Not me.
Good night. I'll welcome our Ruski overlords.
I have a plan.
It'd be the North.
He has a real plan.
It was the North Koreans in the second movie, so maybe that.
Yeah, I mean, I too. Yeah, the North Koreans funded by the Russians.
I didn't see Red Dawn 2. I heard it was terrible. Was it?
It's just not the same movie.
It's not really a movie that needed a sequel, was it?
It wasn't
It wasn't
really
a sequel, it was a remake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a remake. Yeah.
I don't know that needed that either.
But do
Well, it
nothing.
had Josh Peck in it.
Which
So
is
that
just-
kind of diminished the
yeah,
whole
like how are you going to
seriousness
take that
of
seriously?
it. I mean, yeah.
He's not even a good YouTuber.
No, he's not. No, I mean, he's not really a good anything. I mean,
They had
Well,
the Nick show. back in the
what
day.
was the name of that?
Drake and Josh?
Drake and Josh, yeah.
Oh, that guy?
Remember, yeah, you remember
Yeah.
Drake and Josh? Josh?
Vaguely.
Oh, you were a little bit.
I'm
older
old,
than me,
dude.
though. Yeah, but you remember it. Well,
Yeah,
you
because he had kids that were.
Well, I guess
Madison's not much younger than you.
Yeah, 10 years.
She's not 10 years younger than him.
I'm not.
How
that
old are you?
25.
Oh, 7 years. 6 years.
10 years. Geez,
6
how old
years.
do you think I was?
Well, I mean, you look like you're much older than you are with that
It's
beard.
just a big beard.
Yeah.
But it's funny if you do big beard. Well, if I had no beard with long hair, I think I look younger.
Maybe you look like a hipster.
Yeah, hipster.
You look like you're blowing Cali.
So here's something. Speaking of hipster, and I don't know that this is really hipster, but I guess it gets kind of thrown in that category sometimes. So, electronic cigarettes, vaping, Juul, all that stuff, right? The FDA has declared that youth vaping is an epidemic, like an official epidemic.
Okay.
Said that the agency will halt sales of flavored electronic cigarettes if major manufacturers cannot prove they are doing enough to keep them out of the hands of children and teens.
What is enough?
Well, that's my question. I guess, is that like, if you're underage, you can't go into a liquor store? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I guess you just have to-
advertisements.
yeah, you just have to limit the. I guess you have to put them behind like locked cases and stuff.
I mean, you think
I
about.
thought they all were. I don't know.
There's no cigarette commercials, right? Are there? No, I mean, I haven't
Not
seen-
anymore. They took
no,
those
they
out,
used
didn't
to.
they?
Yeah, they took them out. There used to be the Camel. Remember
Do you
the
remember
Camel?
cigarette commercials?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
Marlboro Man.
Yep, the
Yeah.
Marlboro Man.
Yeah.
And they got rid of. I mean, maybe it's something along those lines. Where
And
they
then
have
there
to-
was one where it was like a leopard or a cheetah or something, and he was smoking cigarettes.
Oh, that was Camel, wasn't it?
Or maybe it was Camel, but the big thing there was, hey, you're using cartoons,
right.
which makes it appealing to children.
Oh, right.
And then they used to make the candy cigarettes that you can buy in the store, and they came in what looked like a cigarette pack and had a little red
Yeah,
end on it. And,
I remember those.
They were chewing gum. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, did Big League Chew ever get a bad rap for that? Because it was marketed after like chewing tobacco.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Big League Chew's still around.
It's still around. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
still
used to
around.
love
Funny?
that stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny though?
Yeah.
I guess because it's like
That's just unappealing. My grandfather did
But it's just
that.
not, I think it's because it's not harmful to others.
Right.
It's harmful to
okay,
you, but not
saying
to
chewing tobacco
others.
is not. It's just you.
Right,
just
unless you're
affecting you.
spitting in people's mouth.
My
If you're
grandfather.
doing that, that's a different issue.
My grandfather would give. It was a rite of passage in my family for my cousins. He would put tobacco in their mouth when they were babies.
No.
Yes, he would. And their
No.
mothers would be infuriated.
Now, if you were like 12,
No,
Like,
these
I can
are
see that
newborn
being, like,
babies.
a funny family thing, but
I mean, I
kids?
wanted Aiden to get a taste of Scott, and so I wiped just a little bit of liquor on a little bit of scotch on his lips. He wouldn't sleep, dude. You would have did it too. I promise you would have.
They make Benadryl. I'm not condoning giving your child Benadryl either.
He was too young for Benadryl,
disclaimer. But not scotch.
It was Glenmorangie. It was the bad stuff. It was only the 12-year.
Here's the thing. More than 2 million middle and high school and college students use the battery-powered devices to heat liquid-based nicotine into inhalable vapor. E-cigarettes are by far the most popular tobacco among teens. Nearly 12% of high school students and 3% of middle school students use the device in the past 30 days.
So they are actually accessing nicotine.
So you got kids as young as
It's
middle
not
school.
just like strawberry air.
Right, no, it's the liquid,
Form of
the
nicotine.
flavor, and the nicotine.
So did they say 3% of middle school and 12% of high school?
Yeah.
That's an
in the last
epidemic?
30 days, 12% of high school students and 3% of middle school students use the device, according to the 2017 National Youth.
Yeah, what
Tobacco
does it
Survey.
take to be an epidemic?
Yeah, that doesn't sound epidemic proportions.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, I think that's high.
Yeah, I think it's high, but I don't. That's
It's higher
2
than
million? So 2 million is the number, like, total.
dude. How many kids are token up? I bet it's way higher than that.
Oh no.
You
I don't think so.
No, and that's a much higher number than it would be if it was cigarettes. Cigarettes would not be that high either.
Yeah. This is because, well, and I think that's the thing. Like, the flavors and stuff are often, like, fruity or minty, or that's a lot like gum or, some sports drinks and sodas. And I mean, you have similar flavors there. I can see how it gets kind of
Hurricane Florence is now creating 83-foot high waves.
Speaking of that,
Farmageddon.
I'm plugging this website.
Click loves this.
It's
plugging-
pretty amazing.
I'm plugging
How
it
long
in
did
the
you plug in
chat
it yesterday?
if you're listening,
Not
if
long.
you're looking at the comments, but it's ventusky.com, ventusky.com, and it shows you wind patterns, wave patterns, temperature, precipitation, snow cover over the entire globe live. It is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I'm plugging it. I don't have any connection to them, but if they want to be a sponsor at Third Thoughts, we'll totally go for it.
Absolutely. We'll put a weather update.
Yeah, heck yeah.
At the top
Yeah.
of the hour, right?
Heck yeah, top of the
On the
hour.
15th. What is the Weather Channel? It's like on the 18th.
On the
8
8th.
to 8. I haven't watched. The only time I watch a Weather Channel, like I'll turn it on this weekend to watch the pictures of the hurricane as it rolls in.
What was it?
FEMA is now urging residents in the Carolinas, as well as parts of Virginia and Georgia, to evacuate as the storm continues its path.
Oh, so it's
Are we
reached us
in?
then.
Are we in that?
Yeah, it's a state of emergency for every county in Georgia now.
Do I need to? My question is, do I need to evacuate?
I don't.
No,
I think
we're not
only
going to
the-
be. It's
only
probably
the coast,
more
probably.
the coast. But I mean, the route it's taking is.
because
But they
it
keep
would be
changing
it
it.
would be a novel thing to evacuate Georgia to Florida during a hurricane.
I had some friends that they evacuated Savannah last time with one of the. I guess it would have been Irma, and I want to say it missed them. We got worse winds up here.
Listen, the last one just destroyed my trees.
What's the one that came up? The one I can't keep up with the names of them. The one that came up and hit the west coast of Florida instead of the east. You remember that one?
last year.
Yeah, that wasn't Irma. That was
I forgot.
I don't know.
whatever the name of it was. My father-in-law sheltered in place. He just stayed there.
Now, okay, there's an
his
article-
power never went out, and our power here did.
Yeah, there's an article here, USA Today, about these people who are on the coast of the Carolinas who won't leave.
Right.
It's mandatory evacuation, right, and all that stuff. But they won't leave. They just board up and hang out.
Well,
And now,
then is it really mandatory?
Yeah, that's what I've always is quizzical to me.
what's the repercussion
Yeah, I mean, like
if you
if they,
stay? Do they write you a ticket afterwards?
because I mean, if I was the government and I said it's mandatory that you evacuate and you didn't evacuate, to me that's breaking the law. So I just go arrest you and move you.
I mean, the thing is, they won't have any first responders to respond, and they're putting people in danger by not leaving. That's the big issue with staying. Is someone's going to try to come and save you, even though they say they're not. Mm-hmm. It's inevitable, right? You're gonna end up seeing people on their roofs, people dying because they've done this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the recourse is. I don't think there is one. I don't think they can actually physically make you leave.
I mean, no, I don't suppose that they can. I just wondered if it was like it's like a fine you pay, like a ticket, like after everything's over with. But I didn't think about first responders. There won't be any there.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is there's nobody there.
If you're there and you get hurt,
But this is what will happen if enough people board in place. Some of those first responders will choose to stay behind for the sake of going in the aftermath to help, and you're putting those people in danger.
Well, yeah, because they're dedicated to their purpose.
Right.
I mean, there is nothing you can do staying at your house to...
Yeah, I watched one of the 9/11 things yesterday or last night, and it was when the plane hit the Pentagon, and because they're all military, all the people there were military.
Yeah,
they were trying to get back in to rescue more people, and the firemen were keeping them from re-entering the building, and it collapsed. They were getting ready to. They actually drew out an assault plan against the firemen, so that they could go back in the building and save people. As the building collapsed, they were about to execute this, this plan to go back into the building. And he was like, those firemen saved our lives. First responders are real heroes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not all of them.
But
the ones that actually risk their life, not the ones, that call in sick.
Sure.
It's been 17 years. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
I just
it is.
I can't fathom that. I was trying to explain to Aiden yesterday what happened as gently as you can to a 6-year-old, and it's just he'll never understand what it felt like to go through that. I don't think.
No, I still remember exactly where I was.
Yep.
I was supposed to be going to shoot television, but I was sick when I woke up, and I remember my wife coming in and getting me out of the bed, and this is what she said: "Somebody just shot the World Trade Center with a bazooka," and I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah." So I walk in there, and there's. And I was thinking, what size bazooka was that they shot the World Trade Center?
Artillery cannon.
Yeah.
And then I had been sitting there maybe 30 seconds when the second plane flew into the to the other tower.
I was in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I remember I was in English class. We were reading Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And all of a sudden, teachers come busting in, turn the TV on. And I remember watching the second plane hit, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like those traumatic experiences that sear those details into your brain. I think I heard that somewhere previously this week. Oh, yeah, I said it. But yeah, I mean, it's like my mom.
Can you Can you quote yourself?
For my mom,
is it still a quote?
She certainly, if it's profound enough, it's still a quote. If you quote yourself,
are you quoting if you quote yourself? You're just saying it again.
But my mom remembers when Kennedy. That was a big thing for her.
Right.
Oh yeah,
when Kennedy was assassinated, she still remembers.
The dude
all
on the
details.
grassy knoll and stuff.
No, she wasn't there.
It was the
when
Russians.
It happened.
It was Putin.
But
and Trump.
But I also remember
Complicity.
Was it Columbia?
Columbine?
No. The space shuttle.
Challenger.
Challenger. Yeah, that exploded. Yeah,
it was 86.
Yeah, because we were watching that junk in school.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: nobody knew enough about it to know what happened.
Right.
We're just and it goes, and everybody's like, because we thought it was like taking off, and then, no, they all died, and we were cheering.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. So that was.
It is weird how you remember the weirdest details.
You do.
Oh yeah.
It's funny how the human mind, in those moments, it's like, okay, remember everything. I guess it's like a survival instinct.
But yeah,
right?
when I go to the grocery store, I can't remember the one thing I go for.
Yeah, that's because you're not in danger. Your mind doesn't perceive danger.
Sometimes I am. I mean, if it's something I was
How
told
so?
to go to the grocery store for, and I forget it, and I get back home without it.
It's not real danger, though.
No, not well.
No, see, your mind is subconsciously, it's not real danger. In that moment, 9/11, 2001, we didn't know. Could have been anything. Could have, because that was the thing. Right after that second plane hit, I remember them turn the TV off, and we got in the hallways, and they turned all the lights off, and it was like this junk's coming here right now to Jefferson, Georgia.
I mean, that was
because there's so many things to do there.
That to me was like,
You don't think Jefferson, the school at Jefferson, was a target for an airplane?
I really don't.
But
I
you
don't
know,
think
as
they were
much
coming
as
for us.
said against George W. Bush,
he handled that.
he probably saved countless lives that day by grounding airplanes so quickly.
Right.
I saw a map on Reddit of that day, the air traffic map, and how it's
Yeah.
just going crazy. And you don't realize how many planes are up there.
Right,
At once.
at
Yeah.
one
And
time.
then it's like 2 hours, like 10 a.m. It's just like,
Oh yeah,
and it's like eerily empty on that
yeah,
map.
because that's a hard decision to make, to ground all air traffic coming into and going out of our country, not just within the borders of our country, but to tell those Americans that are trying to come back to America, you can't come.
Yeah.
And all of the millions of dollars that he immediately, shut down, those
There's no
airlines.
telling.
But I mean, and he did it. It seems like without hesitation, because he was talking to the kids,
Right.
at the elementary school, and they come and whisper in his ear, and within 10 minutes, he had given the order to shut down all air traffic. I think he saved a lot of lives that day. I think that would have gone on all day.
Yeah, we don't know what exactly was planned. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what's crazy, when I think about it, as I'm telling Aiden, this happens in the Middle East every day. That's like
Right.
their life is just catastrophe, and that's what
but not
was,
to that magnitude.
Not to that
many
magnitude,
people,
no,
but
but
yeah,
it's
explosions and terrorism and absolutely.
what I mean is we felt for the first time as America vulnerable.
Oh,
When's
yeah.
the last time we were targeted like that in that way?
Well, here's the crazy thing: one of the conspirators is the same guy that tried the earlier
Right.
Trade Center bombing.
That was, what was that, 93?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that 93?
yeah.
How old were you then? Like 3?
1.
1.
I'll tell you one thing that I couldn't believe.
Yeah, it was 192.
I searched television for it. I may be wrong. I searched for it. I couldn't believe that Zero Dark 30 was not playing like on repeat on some channel
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
yesterday. I mean,
Katie tutors a kid in Dubai, and she could not get through to them yesterday on internet communication. So the only guess they had is that they turned it off for some reason from America, which is weird.
yeah, it is weird.
I mean,
strange.
it's worked every other day.
Actually, one of the best things, there are lots of great documentaries and movies documenting the day, but one of the best things I've seen, and I watched some of it yesterday, was just the raw footage from like firefighter, like helicopters and the trucks, and then like people's camcorders. Camcorder is just a weird thing to even say anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But like people had camcorders for some reason, like walking down the street in New York.
Well, it's New York. I mean,
Hey, you just
yeah.
have it, right?
Yeah, you just have it.
And that raw footage is
yeah.
that captures it the best because it's so quiet. Mm-hmm. Like after that first hit, it's so eerily quiet in between people like yelling
yeah.
and being on the phone, and it's really
Yeah.
puts you there. You know,
Oh
like,
yeah, there in the second tower, there were firemen that were going up trying to rescue people, and they felt and heard the first tower crash.
yeah,
And he said he didn't know that's what it was, but then they came over the radio and said tower down, and he's like, "Well, we're in the tower, so it had to be the other one.
yeah,
And if the other one went down, this one's about to."
yeah, because they're not. I mean,
And he said that he had to make that decision because he had hundreds of rescue personnel with him. He was leading the way. And he said in that moment he had to make the decision to abandon the people above him that could be alive in order to save the people below him that he knew were alive.
yeah,
So they start. This is what I thought was amazing, to climb for a fireman in full gear to climb 21 floors, 21 stories takes an hour because of the heaviness of the
Yeah.
gear.
yeah,
And some of them went 70 floors
yeah.
in full gear.
I saw a lot of guys yesterday doing like a couple went to the gym in full fireman get up and
Yeah.
climbed the stair climber in honor of them. Some firemen climbed Stone Mountain in full
Yeah.
gear.
Oh,
just
yeah.
to honor those guys. I mean, that's just crazy.
I think it was like 110 flights of stairs they climbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
But
insane, dude.
But he said that they started down, and they got to the eighth. I think it was the seventh or eighth floor, and they heard the sound again. And he knew it was their building coming down because it was the same sound and the same shaking. and he just started screaming for everybody to go. And they got to the 6th floor, and the building just caved in around them. And that central staircase stood from the 6th floor to the ground. That's all that was left, and they were in that staircase.
Wow.
And there was a guy that was on the 60th floor or something like that, and security told him to stay in his office, not to leave.
What?
Yeah, and they were on the side of the building away from the other tower, so the other tower fell. When they heard this sound, they called security again and said, "What should we do?" And they said, "Get out." And he made it to the 22nd floor, and the building caved in around him, and he rode the debris down, and he ended up on a piece of concrete, a flat piece of concrete, just sitting on top of, and he lived.
What?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
The stories are just incredible.
Oh,
I mean,
and endless perspectives, man.
oh yeah, and then Flight 93. You know, I literally cried last night when Todd Beamer said, "Let's roll." You know, that story about, you know, let's go get them. We can't let this airplane smash into something else. Let's roll. I'm thinking, wow, you know, I believe there are people that are ready for greatness and some that just cower in the face of it. And in that moment, we saw people that were built for greatness rise to the occasion and do incredible things. And I don't think it's a matter of fight or flight. I think in that moment, it's a matter of greatness or obscurity. And people rose to greatness. Yeah. And we don't know what would have happened, how bad it would have been had those great heroes not done what they did. Because that airplane was headed back to Washington.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, it was. Yeah. They were going for the White House, I think, was the plan, is what most people think.
It's insane how, like, I heard somebody talking about it on the radio yesterday morning about how we weren't thinking about it, you know, until that started happening that morning. We weren't thinking about Al-Qaeda.
Right.
We weren't thinking about bin Laden. You know what I'm saying? We weren't thinking about, and all of the sudden it's like, so to me, that's the still scary part, is that it doesn't matter what might be going on. There's something you haven't thought of, you know?
Right.
And any day could be like that. I mean, obviously you can't live your life like that. Like, what's going to happen next?
I'm going to Steve's shelter.
You don't have to. Okay, here's the thing. You don't have to live your life every day thinking about what if something happens.
Sure.
No, if you go ahead and prepare for something to happen.
Or
I'm just saying, I'm not talking about hysteria, because I don't live in a state of hysteria.
No, certainly not.
I live in a state of preparedness. I mean,
that borders on hysteria.
No, I mean, it really does.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm joking.
You know, I mean, this is not something I talk about on a daily basis. It's not something, you know, I mean, it's just I'm prepared in case something happens. It's like when I go to the beach, I carry sunscreen. But also, we carry aloe, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, if I'm going to be prepared for a sunburn, why would I not be prepared for everything else that could happen?
Because you can never cover every spot.
Right. I have a family to think about too. You know, I mean, I have a child, and I want them to be safe. So, you know, I've taken steps to prepare. Now, you know, you call it crazy if you want to. I just call it smart. I'm not, and here's another thing. I don't diminish my present quality of life to plan for the what ifs.
Well, yeah, I think that's,
you know, there's a lot of people that don't live now,
right,
in order to prepare for what if.
That's the problem I really have, is when people do that. When you prep to the point where, like, you're not even living your life. You're living in the future.
Right.
What are you looking at?
I was looking at that bungee cord that goes around that microphone, thinking, wow, that's cool.
The shock mount?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
You, like, look down, like, specifically, you know.
Well, it just caught my attention. I don't know why it caught my attention. It just did. I'm thinking maybe I could use that bungee cord during the apocalypse. I don't know.
Let's just pull it off of here.
But yeah. So I just think it's intelligent to have a plan. It's intelligent to have a plan for anything.
Sure.
I don't lay awake at night in case somebody breaks into my home, but I have a plan if they do.
I'm going to be really candid, okay? You know how yesterday I said if we came out here and we were being invaded by a foreign country.
Yeah.
I say Russia just because it's like a joke, right?
Yeah.
But I don't really think the Russians are invading. But I'm just saying, like, that's the plot of like a bunch of video games. It's National Video Games Day. I don't know if you guys knew that today.
Didn't know that. Don't care.
Well, there it is. But anyway, I said that I would just carry on as normal because I really think there's this large part of me that's like, if it all goes to crap, I don't think that I really want to hang around in that post-apocalyptic, post-invasion kind of world. Like I don't really desire to live that way.
Okay, but
Is that bad?
yeah,
Yes.
but I think also a lot of it comes down to what your perception of that is going to be like. I mean, if your perception is Red Dawn, where they're hunting you down every day of your life, that's not my vision of what that looks like in the aftermath.
Okay.
Will there be violence and all that stuff? Yes, but probably not where I'm going to be. I mean, you know, I'm going to a small town that already lives a simple life, so it's not going to be a huge adjustment.
Yeah.
And it's far removed from, you know, my family already owns the property, so it's not like I bought this for this purpose. It's just there, so why not use it? And it's going to be pretty much, because I've prepared, somewhat life is normal, just without the internet and things like that.
Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Going back into the dark ages. That's the thing on those shows that just makes me. Most of the post-apocalyptic shows are
I don't know that it's the lack of convenience that
no
really
video
bugs
games.
me, or if it's because yeah, I see what you're saying. You know, like you go off somewhere and it's probably not going to get there, but how do you know? You know,
Well, I don't know, but
and I wouldn't want that looming over me. I think,
Dude,
I wouldn't want to worry.
But
about
here's
that.
the thing: it would not be that much different, other than what I do for a living
Well, you can
during
still
the
do
day.
that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the way we do it.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot about my life would change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go home, I spend the evenings with my family. It's what I love to do. We're together, you know. I go out, I feed my animals, I take care of my animals, I do all those things. That's what I would continue to do. So, you know, it would not be that much different. And depending on what apocalypse you're talking about, what the driving force is, makes a huge difference of what that's going to look like in the aftermath. So I don't prepare differently for every scenario. You know, I have enough food to get me through to the point where I can start growing food. You know, I mean, I have that, and then I basically have a self-sustaining system.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in doing that.
Listen,
That's why you would have
if
to
we
band
went out,
together.
If we went outside and people were parachuting out of helicopters and missiles were going off, Clay would have gotten in the truck with me yesterday.
Oh, I would have too. I would have got Dude, I would go after Putin. I would figure out how to get him.
No, I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I have
And I
really,
would have had to say, sorry, Clay, I
I've
don't have
thought-
room for you.
I've thought through this.
Would have been one of those things where like he just doesn't have enough value, like you were talking about earlier.
Well, I would be thinking, what does Clay bring to the table? Do I really need a psalmist in the
Would
apocalypse?
you be culling Clay? Would he be cold?
I wouldn't cull him. And I would probably put him in the truck, let him help me load everything at the house, and then I'd say, hey, can you go back in and grab that last backpack? Take off.
Nah, dude, I would just go home.
I literally hear people that are listening to the show laughing in the other room.
Yeah. He's laughing but you know that you'd have to do the same to him.
Oh, no, he would never be able to make it here. He can't run fast enough in those tight pants to get here.
You wouldn't even let him in the truck, would you? He
Just
wouldn't
a
help you
liability
load
at
the
that
truck,
point.
though. He would just watch. He would say, I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
I don't know,
And come
man.
back, and somehow he would have gone to the coffee shop.
I don't know.
This person we're talking about,
I've thought about it.
They parked in the rear of the place where we work, and they opened the back of their truck, which requires a key. Then they got back in their truck and pulled it around to the front of our building. And we tried to, I tried to open the back of the truck and couldn't get in. Apparently, it was locked. And that person came and tried to open it, and they realized somehow, in driving around to the front of the building, they had lost their key. So now, all the water we have for
We're
the
talking
place...
about 20, 30 yards.
Yes, I mean, we're not talking about miles.
That person will not survive in the apocalypse.
That's my thing. I
don't know. He has such an endearing quality that he will probably just catch on with a group of nomads, and they'll just take care of him like a puppy.
Maybe like their pet.
Yeah.
Their source of entertainment.
Yeah.
Source of entertainment.
I don't know. I don't know if that's just, I don't know if that's a world I want to be in.
But I will tell you this, if he were ever shot in the lower extremities, he would be fine because he wears a ready-made tourniquet.
Yeah, there's no blood loss.
There's no way that
No.
dude's calves have any circulation.
But
Anyway,
let's move on because, I mean, you know, we haven't really covered any news today, much to speak of, right?
I mean, the big things.
Yeah.
We didn't get to what we were trying to get to last week, too. But I don't know. Do you have something less serious, Chief? That you
I don't
wanna
have
get to?
any. No, I don't have anything today.
Dude,
Oh, okay. Well, Bob's bringing
you
up
want
what
something
you
less serious? We talk about something less serious. I found an old article. It's 3 years old now.
Yeah.
But this is ridiculous. This dude in Germany was sued because he peed standing up. And so there's this whole movement in Germany where dudes need to pee sitting down because this guy,
Wait, he was sued for standing up?
while he was peeing, he got uric acid on the floor and it messed up the tile. And so then it turned into the broader issue in Germany of do dudes pee standing up or sitting down?
I didn't.
Yes.
Why is there even a question?
Because they want dudes to sit down and pee.
Because of the tile on the floor in the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think about that? I wanna
want
hear
this
it.
play out.
The judge ruled that he was not guilty. They didn't charge him the money. They said he could stand up to pee. So everybody else now can continue to stand up and pee. There's signs in places in Germany, and there's special words for this.
Of course,
There's
German.
sitting
they have a word for everything.
sitting peer and standing peer. And I don't know. It's just fascinating to me.
It's funny how issues like that.
I mean, I do
spring
know.
up.
I have a friend that made her two boys sit to pee, and I make fun of them for that.
Like their whole lives.
Well, I mean, they're teenagers now, so I'm not sure if they still sit to pee or not. But
Well, listen, I'm just going to tell you, I prayed for girls because it's so much easier to teach them to aim when you're potty training.
I mean, yeah, they just sit down.
I mean, I love my girls. There's more reasons than that. 'Cause, I mean, I
That's
was-
like the sole thing.
the sole reason.
Because, I mean, I was a boy, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with me.
Yeah, but now you're gonna be like broke.
That's-
All your apocalypse money's going to weddings.
That's true, though. I mean, I guess,
I got plenty of money, Randy.
yeah, he saved money because he didn't have to replace the tiles in his bathroom because of the uric acid.
Uric acid. I never heard it called uric acid.
I knew there was uric acid. I didn't know that bathroom floor was susceptible to uric acid
It's not.
breakdown. Like, I feel like you got bad tile.
Yeah, well, that's what ultimately.
Could it have been the grout
It sounds like a poor
and not the tile?
job on the floor.
What did
to
they?
me.
What, I mean, was it made out of Play-Doh?
I don't think so.
It's like building a swimming pool with no liner and like wondering why the water keeps sinking into the ground.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're like, ooh.
Yeah. Exactly like that, Clay. Not really, but yeah, exactly
It
like
is
that.
like that. What do you mean it's not really like that? You built it expecting it to do something that it's not going to do.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Wow, he really would leave you in the apocalypse.
I'm confused.
I didn't think he would, but I'm starting
It's
to think
because he's not
he
paying
will.
attention. He was reading something.
Yeah, I was reading. I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure on
You're not completely sure on what you're reading?
what y'all are saying.
What are you reading?
Just trying to find a story that's worthwhile.
You don't have to, bro.
It's 3:00.
Yeah.
Are we done?
We're nearing the hour.
The hour mark.
Yeah.
This could be our last show.
Could be underwater.
Are you going to go home and build an ark for your animals?
No.
Out of
I
pallet.
told you the rabbits I'm going to go harvest. They will never know the hurricane got here.
Poor rabbits.
Those wascally wabbits.
The culling.
Dude, if you want to get rid of the chickens, we can have a nice chicken dinner.
You know, the chickens I have would be really tough.
Why?
because they have some age on them.
You have had those chickens a while.
Yeah, I mean they're for the purpose of producing eggs
Right. How long do chickens live?
till they die. I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
At two
So
and a
you're in a
half
good mood.
At 2.5 years, egg production begins to wane.
So they become useless to you.
Yeah, and at 2.5, 3 years, it's really time to cull them because the cost of feed outweighs the benefit of the eggs.
So you do cull them.
The chickens, yes.
So what do you do with them?
Well, you can make stock out of older chickens, and probably you can eat the boiled meat too, like chicken salad. But to eat like a drumstick, it would be really tough.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you
Yeah.
just like kind of pull it and make it into something.
Yeah. But chicken stock, you boil it down,
Right.
make stock out of it, and then the carcass you can pull the meat and eat it. Yeah.
The culling.
The culling.
And Florence may
culling.
cull them for you.
Florence may drown my chickens. It's possible.
Yeah.
Because I really don't have time to deal with that much water, moving that much water.
Hurricane season.
Because if it comes a flood, they're going to get wet.
I think
there's
we'll
just
flood
nothing
this
I can
far
do.
over.
I don't know.
Well, you've seen my house.
Yeah, I mean, you live in a hole.
It doesn't take much of a rain for the water to accumulate.
Yeah.
I live at the bottom of a mountain.
I don't think we're going to know what's going to happen until it's here. I mean,
It is one of those things.
yeah, I mean, we don't know. It just took this turn. They weren't expecting that. So now if it continues on that route for the next, what's the day? Wednesday? I mean, I guess we only have 2 days, right? It's going to be here Thursday night, Friday.
It's pretty crazy. It's one of 7 cyclones right now. There's 7 of them active.
And they're all Donald Trump's fault, just in case you were wondering. He's complicit in that.
According to WAPO, yes.
All his fault.
I mean, it's... Well, they somehow blamed Bush for Katrina.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
What did Pat Robertson say about it?
I don't...
Yeah, he didn't blame Bush. He blamed,
Satan?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He said it was judgment. No, I think he
Oh, you blame God?
he said Haiti was judged too.
I do
Yikes.
think that, I've been to New Orleans, and it was not the cleanest city I've ever been to. Probably adding some tide to that water would have done wonders, cleaning the city as the water receded.
Can you imagine people just dumping laundry detergent out their windows?
Actually, I may go home and apply laundry detergent to my driveway and sidewalk in hopes that the massive rain will clean my driveway and
What's going to
sidewalk.
happen is it's not going to rain.
It's going to
enough,
pass us. Yeah, it's not going to rain
And
at
then
all.
you're never going to be able to get out your
gonna be
driveway
like
because
ice.
you'll just slip all the way up.
Yes.
Or it's going to change
What
paths
happened to
again.
Chief? He's trapped at his house. There's detergent everywhere.
Suds up my whole neighborhood.
Just fills up like a bathtub.
Yeah,
down there in your
He's out
backyard.
there. He's out there taking a bath. We go see him. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Hey, thanks for being with us on Third Thoughts this week. If you enjoy the show, leave us a comment or a review. We appreciate that greatly. If you've been with us live, we appreciate you. Make sure you join the conversation every Wednesday at 2 p.m. live on Spreaker.com. It's been a good time. We always love being with you. Take care. Stay safe. If you're in the path of Hurricane Florence, do take precautions. Do evacuate if you need to. And have a safe weekend. We'll see you back here next Wednesday. And catch us Monday at noon for Third and Long for our review of the third weekend of football, college and professional. I've been Clay. I've been with RNDY. I've been with the Chief in the flesh. And until next time,